it. We're here. It is Tuesday night.
We did it!
Oh my God. It's American tradition. It is the release party. It is holy shit. Cynic is here. Anthony is here. Which audio is the worst thing yet? Oh, the boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Is there something else streaming? Am I missing an audio? Did I not get everything turned off? Because I'm logged into like 9 different things right now. I'm probably still streaming some other audio, and I've got something in the background somewhere. Hopefully not. Everyone will tell me if I do. I think it was Rumble. But I got Rumble. We're live on Rumble. Right. Holy crap, guys. We are live on Rumble for the first time ever. INN is live on Rumble. Hi, Rumble, everybody. For everybody checking it out on Rumble. And thank you to Rumble for helping us out and helping us get live and able to do that. So everybody go check out. It's like a weird thing. We don't have a vanity name yet. We're gonna work on that. Okay, good. Thank you, Cindy. Perfect. That is the link to watch the stream live on Rumble. That is ad-free. Rumble is ad-free also, just like Rockfin. We are live on rockfin.com/INN, so we're live there. We're live on Odyssey. We're live everywhere you can imagine. 7 platforms tonight. Everywhere! We need everywhere! Right, we need the Gary Oldman thing, like you said. We need that freaking sound bit like you wouldn't believe. I got to fix this whole sound. I got to fix my whole stream deck and put soundboard stuff. But we got Charlie Mack here. What's going on, dude? Thank you so much for sharing out the stream. Everybody, please share out the stream on Twitter. Share it out on Facebook. Believe it or not, people actually do watch this thing on Facebook. And we are live on Facebook through INN's Facebook page. Facebook.com/Indie News Network. We actually do have one, believe it or not. I know nobody goes on Facebook anymore, but we do. Just in case somebody's there, we got to be there. We're even on Instagram. Nobody follows us on Instagram. I think we got like 100 people on Instagram. So I got this guy sitting next to me, and for like months, he had been working on writing a ton of stuff that inspired him, that came together and became the Grift. And then, along with it, an entire spoken word album, a companion piece, and literally he called it the Grift Home Companion. Why? Because what else would we call it, right?
Right, exactly. That was one of those. As soon as I thought of that, I was like, "Oh, it's got to be it." It's just too dumb and fucking perfect to not. And so, of course, Greg, our graphics wizard, the big mad crab, I was like, all I need for this is just to stamp this as Home Companion right on the same cover, and we are out the door.
I mean, that's the easiest thing a graphic person could ever hear. He's like, "Oh, thank you, make my life easy. Let's do it fast." So while we're doing this, I need to bring up Spotify, and so talk a little bit about this album, how long it took you to write it, what the process was in producing it. I know you went through a ton, especially in the last couple weeks, to finish it. So go ahead, man.
Seriously. This was, for everything I've put out in the last couple of years, this one was the longest coming. That said, I do feel like it's a better product for it. I'm trying to remember when I wrote the first piece of this, but it was probably Oil Baron Rescue Plan for the music side. That an unmixed version of that has been on YouTube for several months. That and the title track. And then once I wrote a couple things, the ball got rolling, and next thing you know, I had a lot of pieces on my hands, kept adding to it and adding to it. This was the first bit of stuff that was recorded still on my phone setup, but not in my car anymore. I've been recording here at Camp David in my my streaming space. And it just the vibe here is exactly right. Especially for Powerless. I think the last episode of American Tradition, we were talking that I was down to just needing to record that for the music side. And for as many times as I'd played Powerless on streams and shows, recording it was a nightmare for some reason, and way more takes than I've ever done on any song, just trying to get a really simple acoustic cut of Powerless that I was happy with. And part of it's the fact that I got to do it so much that I knew exactly how I wanted every little nuance of it. And then it was getting that 100% was a bit of a challenge. So I told you last episode that before we started, I had like 40 minutes to kill and I tried to record it and I kept butchering it and I was getting really pissed off. And I started off the episode like really frustrated and had to kind of decompress. As soon as we finished week before last, I didn't even move. I signed off with you. I grabbed my guitar. I opened up GarageBand. I did a take, and first take, that's the one that's on the album.
Wow.
And I attribute it to still having the like stream afterglow going on. But that I was in like, Kanye West off meds has reportedly like changed major parts of albums a couple hours before it goes to Spotify. I was totally in Kanye mode because I was like night before the release and I was like, I want to put a harmony on this. I'm going to reverse those bass lines. I was just like tweaking all kinds of stuff. And really the spoken word side, I mean, my whole family got COVID a few weeks back. And once I was at home and was off of work for like 10 days, I was like, this might be a good time to go ahead and try to do some of the spoken word album. And I ended up sitting here one night, and in about 2.5 hours, I sat down and recorded the whole thing. Super, super happy with how the spoken word side turned out. I really, really am. And it's nice to put something out and feel like, without a doubt, like this is the best project I have to date. Like this is a nice evolution of sound that still obviously feels like me, but there's I know it's just a bit more melodic. I really tried to make sure that the choruses were soft and memorable and, dare I say, like earwormy, just to make what I'm saying go down a little more smoothly. So yeah, we'll start off with the title track, which almost wasn't the title track. Fun fact, I almost called this song Ilhan Omar NFT.
Mhm.
The only reason I didn't is because it's like exactly like Lockheed Martin OnlyFans in that it's two things and the same syllable structure. And I just didn't want to repeat that again. And it definitely, once I realized that I wanted that as a title track, then that was definitely how I was going to open the album. And I love that it opens with the words "Last Stand." That felt like such a good kind of statement to make going into this. So yeah, whenever you're ready,
Sure.
we'll go ahead
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I'm gonna
yeah.
play it. Yeah. Cynic. She's saying, yeah, we should have Bandcamp. I have Spotify hooked up because I have that hooked up pre-show, so it's just easier. But yes, jessejett.bandcamp.com. The lyrics are going to come up. I'm just going to minimize this before and after each song. But and I could do this on another screen, but I just figured that way we can kind of show people where they can get it, and everybody that does have Spotify, they can download this and have this on their phone. That not everyone has a Bandcamp app and download shit, so that's the other reason to show people what this is, and for everybody else. So thank you everybody for coming and hanging out. I'm gonna play the Grift. This is the title track, and I'm gonna then minimize this and we'll play the lyrics. So boom.
Awesome.
Last stand, and I came to deliver. Been called a Clinton operative, a Russian, and a grifter. By libs, a washing student debt, proud to be an intern, sucking up to pigs who get a tax cut in the midterms. You cut the ties but never heal the wrist burns. Capitalist shackles wrap and penetrate like ringworms around the necks of those whose deaths will not affect the king's purse or the coffers of the company the king serves, who manufacture mandated tinctures. Their safety data hanging from a fixture, 1/2 mile skyward, just dangling from the rafters. My grift is sobbing till I'm cackling with laughter. I guess I would have made a decent actor, I'd be great at crying on command until they cut plus 40 minutes after. When the director waves a hand, it ain't a rap, it's now a legal matter. Honey, my grift is weeping on a mic until I'm hacking up airstrike verses like it's bombs away and batter up. Swinging on these bigots, they keep killing us to fatten up. Kill the switch, eat the rich, I think they're finally fat enough. Grab your knife and fork, the world is yours, just say you've had enough. And if you're comfy, you could go ahead and laugh it up. Tell me how the most important vote I'll ever cast is like the choosing of a bus, in that it might not take you anywhere you want, but no one can deny the fact the bus is now no longer where it was. And that's the kind of progress we should celebrate and trust. Spoken like a kid who never took a bus. Spoken like a piece of shit that used some cash to mask his stink and truly thinks he's one of us. Spoken like a terminally unserious person who equates our cries for rights to mixed up orders from a server. It paints a privileged picture of what you would label urgent if the worst thing you've experienced in life has been the time your waiter accidentally brought a tray of gold flake scallop when you clearly ordered gold flake urchin. And now you're storming out the restaurant and hopping in a Tesla. You got 80 pounds of Tony Fauci merchant.
Rewind 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride.
Best to place your bets on weaponizing the identity of every limp progressive claiming grassroots integrity. Policy is a slippery slope for all of its complexity, so flex your brave resistance with this Ilhan Omar NFT. Numbered 1 of 723. Each depicts her valiantly championing a bill before she lays it at a donor's feet. And she can throw her hands up in the air with AOC and say if only Nina Turner could have voted present too, that's why we need another seat. We need some more progressives we elect to only tweet, who live to serve humana and their label of elective slapped on every patient's gravest needs. And every station plays the theme that medical professionals agree on the effectiveness and safety of injections authorized for this emergency. And in purely unrelated news, the profits of the ones who manufacture vaccines just increased by nearly 36 billion with a fucking B. Sometimes it feels like we're the only ones that see. Sometimes it feels like all of us are lost at sea. And every time we think we see an island on the tip of the horizon, it turns out to be another measure making sure we're kept within the watchful eye of murderous authority. And so I guess my grift is crying for the future they denied us, where the people who would buy us are a mockable minority. And we are more than genomes under warranty. And we are more than serfs in constant quarantine. If I had a single breath left, I'd let the chorus scream. I'd announce our leaders claiming none for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me. None for all and more for me.
Rewind 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to waste your free time. Air that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride. Rewind 2 chains won't make you wait in such a long line. Life's not just a way to your free time. And that's fit to breathe is not a free ride. Free ride.
Oh,
All
that was
right.
perfect timing, Indy. Thank you.
Perfect. Nice. All right. I grabbed it back. All right. So that's awesome. It's a free ride. Is it really? Okay. So Cynic, I figured out how to hook up Bandcamp. Yay. Okay. So now, and I realized that I don't need to have Bandcamp. I'm going to show it on the screen so that, again, people can come check out jessejett.bandcamp.com. Boom. Okay, there we go. So now the other thing I want to do is, before I do that, go back to me and Jesse for a second. I want to hide my bookmarks so you don't have to look at those. And that gives us a little bit more surface area. And the sidebar thingy, good. And we'll blow this up a little bit more so you can see the full screen. Boom. All right, so that looks better. So, the Grift. I mean, was that the first one that you wrote? Was that the middle one? When did you decide to title that?
That was probably the second one. I mean, once I knew I was going to do another album, I mean, I think a lot of us get the, you're a Clinton operative, or you're, if you criticize a progressive, or you're, a Russian bot, or you're a Russian troll, or whatever. But grifter gets thrown around, especially now, so much. And the idea that I'm making like ludicrous money, that it's like profitable to say what I'm saying is so fucking funny. And I couldn't get over it. I was like, you know what? I really want to just lean into this as much as possible. Let's say I have a grift. What is my grift? Is it being the crying guy? Is it being the unhinged emotional Hamilton of the left? Like, let's go with it. let's just like I said, let's just lean into it so hard my face hits the fucking pavement. So I did. I was like, let's just lay out, especially in that song, kind of do a little self-deprecation, and in doing so, all of a sudden, to me, I mean, I've been sharing around a couple screenshots of the lyrics from that as my permanent response to just the vote shaming, the people that use the same, you're just acting like you can't get what you want at a restaurant, and so you're throwing a tantrum. There's always that one. And the bus, that voting is like a bus, and it's not about, getting exactly where you want to go. It's making a step in the right direction. It's, incremental bullshit progress.
Oh yeah, just what we need right now. Exactly what we need right now.
And a couple songs on this album especially are almost directly to those people, and it's nice to have a few things ready now that are just like locked and loaded that I'm just dropping. It's really my usual hunt on Twitter, but instead of just like calling someone a bootlicking clown or whatever, I'll just drop a song that does that in here, that does it with rhetoric. So this next song kicks off with a little sample from a show that didn't get picked up beyond its pilot, and it's an absolute crime. It is called The Extacles, and I think you can find it in a few places on the interwebs if you look around. It's the people that ended up making Frisky Dingo and a few other shows. But a friend of mine, a comedian named Jonathan Shannon, showed this to me a long time ago, and I just died. And I couldn't get over using this clip. And so it opens up with a little sample from The Extacles. But up next is the Oil Baron Rescue Plan.
All right, so let's do this.
Courtesy of Bandcamp.
Okay, I'm going to fingers crossed, hope this works. Yay, it worked. Okay.
I hear it.
Hopefully everybody out there can hear it too. And it's louder than the last one, because I know the last one was a little low.
Hey, what about you, eyeballs? What did you see?
It couldn't have been me, sir. I was front row in my AOC t-shirt, foie gras sucking on a press release, sir. My head down, fourth shot, good little sheep, sir. Sit down, sweetie. The adults are gonna speak first. They trust the science and they're terrified of research. Here to thank our healthcare heroes, they've been feeding to the burnout, feet first. Until suddenly they dip mid-shift, take a header off a bridge. Such a shame, they were really such a sweet nurse. Now they'll never get the card and the cold slice of pizza meant to thank them for their teamwork. Now they'll never get the baggie full of checks mixed, which would be the one reward they'd see for the moms they had to intubate. And the countless cries of grief since we've been haunted by the specter of the C word. Now all the applause for our healthcare heroes rings a very hollow note because we played it out like Freebird. See, add the ones and zeros in our fragile checks and balances are checks for all the wealthy who have such unholy talents that we think it's patriotic that we all got zero balances. And re-elect Pelosi so she'll face our toughest challenges. Which is analogous to water for a drowning man. Nancy disregards our impoverished with a spiteful and dismissive little waving of her withered hand. Cause 500,000 freezing on the streets is Biden's winter plan. And I bet you swore they told you you were voting for a different man. But really all you wanted was a different man. It didn't make a fucking difference if he finishes the previous inhabitant's agenda and starts auctioning protected land. Biden's born to leap at any war a donor's check demands. Turns out that you can't cure greed once it infects a man. Once they lose respect for human life and focus all their fucking efforts on the oil baron rescue plan. Honey, what are we to heck you but or heck you but to us that if she's starving we should give a damn? Why should we be moved to tears if someone isn't eating? We won't even recognize that food is essential to our being. It's just us and motherfucking Israel who will not guarantee that food's a basic human right. Because starvation is our favorite tool of genocide disguised as sanctioned democratic healing. That's me in the corner, losing my religion, gouging out my eyes and then dancing on the ceiling. Jesus fucking Christ, what a feeling.
Hey, what about you, eyeballs? What did you see?
So that that mentioned, I mean, I think a lot of people that work in retail, healthcare, all those thankless jobs, teachers, you've gotten some sort of like demeaning thank you snack bag or a little gift bag. Probably seen some of the pictures of like teachers getting the ones that have the like, here's a penny so you can be the change in the world. Here's a small miniature Tootsie Roll so you always stay sweet. Like something that you would give to a kindergartner, and it would be an appropriate thank you. Not something that you give to someone that has to deal with like bodily fluids and watching people die or help fucking, keep your kids safe. And the mention of the nurse taking a header off a bridge mid-shift. I don't remember where that happened, but there was a travel nurse, I think it was in 2021, that mid-shift left and jumped off a bridge and committed suicide. And a lot of people that work with them were just like, we didn't notice anything, but at the same time, it's like no one was super shocked because why could anyone blame them? So that I remember hearing that news story and then writing that song shortly afterwards. That's probably the first piece that I ended up writing for the Grift. So
and hearing it as spoken word last time 2 weeks ago, and then this time he performed. I don't know if you for those who watched, then just about everyone here did, but last episode on the Roasting Nancy episode, Jesse perform that spoken word, and now to hear it with the music and the reverb laid behind it, and the echo, the slight echo, and to hear the remix and the work that you put into it is fucking badass, bro. Let me tell you.
Thank you, man. Seriously.
That's so awesome.
I tried to, I have a tendency to like overproduce a lot, and I love that. But I felt like I'd made a couple of records where the production was like exactly all for Jesse. And I've noticed that a few songs where I've eased up just a little bit really goes a long way. Love Your Prison was one that I tried to do a little bit simpler of a bass line than what I had in mind, and ended up making the song have a nice little groove to it. And I tried to keep that moving forward with this. And Oil Baron Rescue Plan, actually, you'll notice in the first kind of movement of the verses, there is no bass. It's just the synth and that drum part. And when the bass comes in, it's this tuned 808 that's just way too massive. And I really like that dynamic shift of you just go from something that's all kind of right here to when it does drop in, especially with headphones. That's a really nice rich bottom end on that song. So I love that. And I think my 6th Hamlet reference among all my stuff, because I noticed that when I did the Hecuba line, I was like, fuck, how many Hamilton, or not Hamilton, oh god damn it, Hamlet.
Oh, you keep dropping Hamilton.
Freudian slip there. No, the whole thing's a Hamilton line. I mean, if we're being honest. No, Hamlet, a few other Shakespeare pieces too, but I think Hamlet's probably gotten the most nods. That's either 5 or 6 through all my shit. But most of the songs on here, like a lot of my songs, open up with the sound of me hitting the apple. This next one, Etna Demigod, I had done a few takes in a row, and so every one I'm taking a hit and taking a hit. And on this take, I totally remember the little beat ticks off, and so I hit in time and I go, and if you listen closely, you could hear it because I kept it in the song. Why wouldn't I keep it in the song?
Okay, well, so now we're gonna have to add that one to the playlist, because that'll be like for Reefer After Dark. So that'll be smoking to the beat, basically. You know.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. I love it. All right, so let's play Etna Demigod. I figured out to open this in another browser so that you can just watch this, and then we'll switch to the lyrics. But let's go Etna Demigod, and here we go. I mute myself.
Like everybody, seriously, it means so much for you guys hanging out, especially tonight, since I'm not like performing. It's a real treat for me to get to sit and do this and kind of enjoy the finished product, like objectively and with people I care about. So I love you guys. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Love you, man.
Perfect time for you to burn the bridge to self-forgiveness. Now's the chance, take a stand, stay your hand before you cast another vote for corporate interest. Another vote that chokes your hopes of owning your own home or opening a business. They love to say their hands were tied, the stars just weren't aligned for them to get their votes in line to see their promises delivered. But they killed it in an instant. Bills don't die by accident, they're all assassinated on behalf of the congressionally kismet. By some lobbyists who see themselves as agents of clandestine fate, not fences in a prison. Dealing in the stolen goods of sleeping slaves and trading on the futures of their children. Betting on a spread of daily dead where every grave's creating profit by the millions. For some fascists lurking in the wings and all of their affiliates. And every Etna demigod our senators conduct their darkest dealings with. It really gets impossible to document or fingerprint, cause it isn't just a pattern of corruption, it's the very fabric making up the structure of the system that we're living in. So dash your hopes and down a margarita goes. You box the shadows, take a little nap, and then you get back in and swing again. But if the margarita made you sick, you probably wouldn't take a drink again. So if you're voting either party, honey, think again. I recommend you steel your nerves and never serve an officer, a president, a despot, or a king again. And mark my words, the day will come where we will rise and sing again. And if voting makes you sick, well, no one's forcing you to drink again.
I didn't have to wait for long. I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm. Smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even feign disarm. Can't fake while you play the charms. And I don't know the page we're on, but this is where you say you're wrong.
This is where you finally admit you weren't ignorant. You boldly voted Joe like an informed and blissful idiot. You chose to blur the parts of Biden you don't find the prettiest. Now you choose uplifting news and filter out the grittiest. But the truth is something coarse enough that even when it's hidden, it's apparent when you feel it on your fingertips. I know it's hard to deal with from a distance, and up close the truth is hideous. But there's just no getting rid of it. You've gotta let it in, or it just worries at your skin at every moment, loud or intimate. But shake it off, for fuck's sakes. You don't have to celebrate or be so proud of progress by imaginary increments. You don't have to heap such constant praise on fucking villains, like they're stillborn promises or honestly just isolated incidents, and not the product of the principle of privilege. Not intentional eugenics just by any other synonym, covered up with desperate clusterfucks of rosy images, labeled plain by any other name except for what the fucking image is. So once you stare the page down enough, you'll spot the difference. That one is red and one is blue, and that's the only truth, because neither one delivers on that promise of deliverance. One is red and one is blue, and that's the only difference. And the rest are isolated and imaginary incidents. One is red, one is blue, and that's the only difference.
I didn't have to wait for long. I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm. Smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even feign disarm. Can't fake while you play the charms. And I don't know the page we're on, but this is where you say you're wrong.
Boom. Hey, okay. Dude, Etna Demigod. That is song number 3 off the Grift. Wow. That's really powerful. And Edwin Medina, who's in the chat, also agree. Hey, man, I'm fucking with this. I'm fucking with this too, man. Definitely. Wow.
Thank you. Seriously, all you. Yeah, Charlie, to answer your question, everything I use, other than like guitar, obviously when I play guitar on a song, that's me playing guitar, but all my drums, bass, keys, that's all GarageBand. That's the only thing I use. That is a synth tone on there called Dusty Record Synth, that even has the little kind of album crackle and hiss that I use honestly in way too many songs. I know it's on Both Hands on Your Head, which is still to come on this record, and it is the synth in Love Your Prison. I'm sure it's on another thing or two as well. Speaker of the House. It's on there as well. But yeah, I fell in love with that synth, and once I have a few tones that I like, I change up my drum tones a lot, but I synths especially, that has just the right kind of tone. The little bit of crackle blends in well with my recording quality. So it just feels like a good fit. So this next one, let me actually prepare, because I want to play the sample before we play the song.
Okay. Cool. What is this? Ecosphere. Right here. Ecosphere. Is it echo or eco?
Connected.
Okay, Echo. So this song,
Echo or eco?
oh, hang on, you're coming through.
I got an
YouTube
echo.
now.
That's an echosphere.
There we go. All right. So, Havana Syndrome. We know it. We love it. We've all had it. When 60 Minutes did a story with the agent that said he had experienced the sound and then the headaches and everything, they did a whole piece on it, and he played a clip. He said he was staying in this hotel and he heard this noise. And here we go. They played a short clip. He said he recorded it, and so they played a little tone of it.
It's the crickets.
Okay. So if I go, this is the exact sound as they played it on 60 Minutes. That's it. One more time. Super high pitched, right? If we pitch it down 2 steps, it's a cicada. If we pitch it down 2 more steps, it's this pretty little tone, which you can just go. So that became, let me play it just by itself. Which is the synth that runs through Echosphere, which is mostly, I was reading about Neuralink, Elon Musk's brain implant company, looking to do some trials, and they were asking for like human volunteers, any interested human volunteers, and I couldn't get over that. So I ended up writing this short piece. I think I put this up on Twitter as soon as I did it. And this was one of the only other things that was like pretty much done for the Grift that floated around before the record came out. I tried my best to keep a lot of this under wraps until it was done. I'm glad I did. So let me kill the speaker.
And it was eating his brain. Yes, Cynic, 100%. And Reeve says it sounds like the Star Trek.
Oh yeah, no, just from sitting and cutting out the sample, my nose was bleeding, my ears, my eyes, my every orifice was just, it was ugly.
I think it sounds
headaches
a
still
little like. I think it sounds a little like the Jetsons ring doorbell. Ding, boom, boom, boom. Oh, Tara Reid. Hi, Tara. Tara's over on the Rock Fins. What's up, Tara? INN in the house. Love it. Good to see you. Great
Thanks,
streams this week. Everybody go check out
seriously.
Tara's stuff.
I told her she's been on a spree. I didn't lie. Streaming spree.
Oh, Courtney, Keisha, how are you? Bank Sisters are here.
Yeah, that
everybody check this out.
That was the Havana Syndrome. At least what they told us it was when they played the clip. That was the sound the guy said he heard that caused it. And so I pitched it down, and you can tell it's just a cicada that they pitched up. And so then I put it down, and then and it's the song we're about to listen to, which is Echosphere.
All right, here we go. 1, 2, boom.
False alarm. I thought that help was here. But it was my own reassurance bouncing around 100,000 times in my own echosphere. If every time you speak you keep it off the record, consequently you can keep your record clear. And if you mute the speech that shakes your frail beliefs, you only seek to insulate your image and continue down the stream in the direction clout and credit steers. Directly from your mouth into Am I the Asshole Reddit's ears. Directly back into the greasy pockets of some Gates Foundation financiers. And then directly back into the frantic final thoughts of early trial Neuralink volunteers, staring at the numb and mumbling vacancies where recently had been their peers. Half of whom are glitching with the memory stuck on pause, and half have zero fucking clue just who they are or why they're here. It's been said that fear is all we have to fear, but that was back before the basosphere condenser came along, distilling concentrated fear that's diamond pure, crystal clear, oppressor strong, and woven into every single article you read and song they let you hear.
And then Elon heard that Jeff enhanced our fears by 86%, and he said, hold my beer. And not a single sheep among the herd would turn their head or say a word, cause they were all too busy begging for the shears, begging for the muzzle, happy just to guzzle, feed, and watch a screen for all their years. Man, to each his own, can't afford a home, but they'll let you have your cozy little ecosphere. Where there among your own devices you can break the seventh seal, overthrow the oracles and slay the seer. All the tomes were burned and all the lips were seared. Shut your eyes and all our lives just disappear. Now blink 'em twice. Welcome to your ecosphere.
I like the fade out on that.
Okay. If you want, we can roll right into this next one. I really
Yeah, let's
this
do it.
was the last thing I like wrote for this album, and it was only last minute that I decided I didn't want to do it acoustic, that I wanted to actually produce something for it. And once I did, I was like, you know what? The chorus was already kind of lush to the point of like easy listening territory. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just kind of go with that. So it's a very soft, kind of dreamy chorus that goes into some of the most brash and like abrasive opening lines I've ever put down, and then comes back into that chorus just as soft at the end, which kind of fits because the chorus is very much just kind of, you know what, go back to brunch, don't worry about it, just, you know, lay your head down, obviously. But opens and closes with both hands on your head, just kind of people passively accepting that police state that is our new normal. So yeah, this is both hands on your head.
Oh, let's do it.
And when you dream, you're by yourself. Don't know the streets where you'll find yourself. Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Both hands on your head. When you dream, you're by yourself. Don't know the streets where you'll find yourself. Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Both hands on your head. Both hands on your head.
Money's talking while hunger prays. Bunch of Nazi-loving child fuckers run the state. 911 is on some 1-800 CIA, and plastic pundits pump your trust and fund your shallow graves. It is malice just for malice sakes. Congress houses wealthy corpses, breathing hexes, arming forces, then spilling out 1 million greedy snakes from all their orifices, coursing down the Congress floor, across the aisle, out the door to curse 1 million more before they've run their bloody courses. Clip your wings like Klippenstein, then out and burn your sources. God collapsing times is hard to witness, other times it's gorgeous. There's something satisfying in the act of watching something greedy choke upon the very thing on which it gorges. And there is something humbling blooming in the thought that once the dust is settled, mine could be the hand that clears the moss and lights the torches. That mine could be the voice that wakes the very fucking orchids. Mine could be the words that stir the armies in the orchards. Then all the lowliest of roots, I'd be the one to call them forward. Let the very earth be witness first to see the fascists flail and flounder when they learn they're truly cornered. Once they learn the class war has boiled down to looters versus hoarders. Let the earth absorb their meager worth once they've been quartered. Laugh and say I only followed orders. Kinda like the guy who flew the drone that leveled Doctors Without Borders. When all the classic Clinton morals launched a couple wars, and off the books a dozen more. And so Congress opened up the store and moved 250,000 mortars. And bombed allegiance out of those who wouldn't kneel before us. And now the stage is set and we're the starving chorus, who hunger not for justice but those leaders that ignored us. Who hunger not for justice but those leaders that ignored us.
Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Let what you've seen rewind itself. And when you dream, you bind yourself. Both hands on your head. Both hands on your head.
I like the,
So,
the little record vinyl.
Yeah,
sound
that
at the end
that
there.
little record vinyl, Charlie, the synth I was talking about, that is when you just let a note hang on that synth tone. After the note stops, it will keep doing that little record crackle for as long as you want, and I could just mainline that. Yeah, if I can plug another band, they're not around anymore. There was a band called Fair to Midland. They were progressive, almost like folk metal. I don't know what to call them. They had the weirdest melodies, fucking killer harmonies. Their first record especially was a huge influence for me. And it is safe to say I wouldn't have put that harmony at the end of that song the way I did if I had never listened to Fair to Midland. Like, that's the first time I've gotten to like hear their influence in something of mine before. And so I love that all the more.
Oh, Jenna Colby fucking loves this, and Cynic says, "Wow, it's so great." And you can see what chat's saying. Booyah saying fire. I have the chat running up live while we're playing the song, so everybody can kind of see, even if they're watching the replay when we cut this up, that everybody's just freaking loving this. And we need to get more people in here watching this. And everybody, please share this.
Seriously, oh my god,
get more people in here. Share this out. Get more people downloading it. jessejett.bandcamp.com. All this music is free. You can download it MP3, song by song. You can download the whole album. This is free on Spotify. You can add it to your Spotify playlist. And actually, we've been making INN playlists, and we're gonna make one for Jesse.
It's also distributed to like Snapchat and TikTok. So if you feel like messing around with one of those, I'm not really a TikTok person, but I should. Like, I could duet with myself or something. I don't know.
Oh my God, you would be a hilarious TikTok person. I mean, I can imagine the
It would be a great
Jesse
place
Jett
to start
TikToks.
doing the impression.
Like,
do Michael McDonald and Rick Astley and shit like that.
Oh my God! Or what about like the bubble, like even the funny dances with the bubble asses and stuff? Like, I can see Jesse just killing it, because you do Cy Oppenheimer. Actually, Cy Oppenheimer may make an appearance on his own TikTok for State C12. We'll see.
No, you know what? I think now that the Grift is out, I think I need to have Cy Oppenheimer go on Reefer After Dark. That's what I think needs to happen.
Oh yeah, and show that he does inhale, because he's down with the kids.
Right?
Hello, fellow
just have
teenagers.
the shirt get progressively unbuttoned until I'm just tank top and just nothing matters. You know?
I love it. Okay, let me go back and show again, everybody. This is jessejett.bandcamp.com that I'm showing right here. So you can, again, go here. You can play it live on the web. You don't have to download it at all, but you can. You can hook up our man and buy the track or buy the whole album. I know that Colin actually hooked, and you can send it to somebody as a gift. There's so many different ways that you can actually listen to this. And then, again, you can access the Grift Home Companion which is what we're going to go through next time in 2 weeks from now as well. So
Yep.
really excited about that. So we've got trigger warning, dark,
All right, so
dystopian.
this next one,
Okay.
wait, did I number that?
What, number 6?
Is that what's next on?
Trigger
Oh,
warning.
it sure is. Huh. Okay, never mind. I have an outdated track list from a week before. Like I said, I was in Kanye mode. I was making big changes last minute. It was all a blur. I recorded the whole spoken word album in one sitting when I had COVID. So it went well. I don't remember much of it, but it went well. So, yeah, okay. This song was inspired by a response to a tweet, and I felt like it was a really mild tweet, especially by my standards, where it was kind of a half joking, kind of Twilight Zone thing. It was like, the year is 2041. You wake up and check your Twitter feed. One of your friends posts a promoted Pepsi ad. The rest is bots. It was something like that. It was really just short and something dumb. And someone commented on it, and dead serious. They were like, before I would post something like this, I would put a trigger warning for dystopian or dark content. I was like, really? Like, usually if I'm gonna say something that I thought would actually trigger somebody for something, I would absolutely, but not for like Twilight Zone kind of dystopia. I mean, like, look around, like, seriously. So I, instead of saying something, I just went and I wrote this. Yeah, usually everything features the apple, but this called for the bubbler. So this is trigger warning, dark and dystopian.
All right. Minimize that. One of my favorite songs.
I'm happy for this.
Trigger warning, working class solidarity. I saw two people talking at the protest in the park, both from different ends of the spectrum of belief. At least that's how their conversation starts. But soon the liberal resistor might discover they got lots of things in common with their unvaxxed right-leaning counterpart. Just maybe not the swelling in the walls that surround their hearts. Fuck. The trigger warning for dystopian and dark is just that little bird you see when you embark. When you submit your body to the tidal pull of Twitter's frigid oceans, where everything you see evokes a negative emotion. So if it's hard for you to have to view the dark and the dystopian, well, little buckaroo, I'm not some shrine designed for you to find some hope within. If every day we open up our eyes is like an overdose, I don't intend to sugarcoat my opiates. If dystopian and dark is on the menu, honey, so be it. I take my rich rare like I take my kitsch Soviet. My army swells its ranks with those regarded as the lowliest, and we intend to dine upon the holiest. And if my little tweets are hard to stomach, kitten, better buckle up. The ugly dial just got cranked from moderate to copious. So please consider this your trigger warning, that my every word is purposefully odious, deliberately chosen, that it swerves a little viper curve and chokes you in the Mobius. You didn't want to hear it, so I had to go and dress it up melodious. Fascism is not something you vote against. Fascism's a slow descent. Fascism was crafting scripts for use on local news a fucking decade long before you ever noticed it. Fascism is not your neighbor's Trump or bumper sticker made to match his trucker hat. It's the vat of oil you and he are boiling in. Trigger warning, ugly fucking future. Soon your useless brand of radically flaccid centrist views will have us staring down a feeding tube that serves a very soylent sin, where all your friends are zombies sharing dead-eyed pics of soylent grins. The trigger warning for the dark and the dystopian is Congress's collective mouth hideously opening, swallowing the working class and comment section nobodies.
those of you who'd pick apart the movement, cause you caught a whiff of chauviny. As hopeless as I fear I'm gonna grow to be, there's bound to be some hope in me, that we could cease the friendly fire long enough to set the scene. We could stop the little factions eating off of one another long enough to catch the kind of meat that makes our meager spread the richest feast. I guess I should have put a trigger warning, working class unity, something less akin to peaceful protest, more to mutiny. I do not submit my written word to hear your scrutiny. So if you want the censored version, it's unlocked by muting me.
And a rare closing bubbler as well.
Dude, hits from the ball. a little Cypress, little tribute at the end there for sure. I found myself laughing out loud to at least 3 lines in that song. That was
Okay.
freaking...
So Jenna, I'm guessing if you like that line, you're getting the Regina sorry, my Florida came out. Regina Spektor reference, because I was like, I don't try to beat people over the head with that, but it's always one you just like hope people get, because I love, especially that album. I love Regina Spektor.
All right, so we got 3 more to go. We've got Supersize is next.
Yeah,
and that's a long.
Okay,
one of the
so
longer
Supersize. Supersize. I knew somewhere on this album I wanted to use this clip when Nico House, and debated doesn't even seem like the right word, because it was just, Nico was very, very patient with this young man. Hunter Avalon was his name, but he says this line, and he says it like just a scared little baby bird, because there's such a genuine sincerity. He says, so wait, like if you don't trust the CIA and you don't trust like our institutions, then who do you trust? And the bewilderment there was just, oh my God, it's so honey sweet.
What?
So
wait, what?
This I ended up recording this I think it was the second day that I had COVID, when I was just stuck in the room. I was like, well, time to hammer out this guitar part that I knew is going to be a nightmare to record. And it was, but it's maybe my favorite like instrumental on the album. And I realized I wanted to take my time and let the music kind of do its thing for a while. And the song's called Supersize. So I'm like, you know what? Looks like we're going to have 2 6.5-minute songs on this record. So I should have also put it under like the prog category on Bandcamp, but I didn't. I've got the hairline, I've got the song length, I've got the paraphernalia. I mean, what's not to make me a prog artist? All right. Supersize.
Were you alive in the? Yeah, you were alive in the 70s. You're like my age, so yeah, you definitely could be like.
No.
Like you?
No, Indy. I'm 33.
Oh, really? Okay, so you could have been like
89, baby.
Like the 26th member of Yes, playing on tour at some point.
I would take. I was gonna say like Three Dog Night. I'm a little more like, I look like a Three Dog Night. Well, I look like a guy from Three Dog Night.
Born in '89, dude. I'm a bad. Wow. I'm already out of grade school and into my freshman year of high school by then. But that's another story for another day. Okay. So,
all right,
Supersize. Here we go.
Let's do this. I'm so excited for this one. I love the song.
I'm excited too. All right, let's go.
so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust? Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
The last track, I think I only blinked once. I skipped lunch. Blinked twice. Christ, shut your eyes. Now open wide. Fascists took the nation and inflation took a supersize. It's sad to say your teachers couldn't quite make the ends collide. But now you'll probably get to see them on the weekends doing Uber drives. Say lube it with a little oil. One, it tastes expensive too. You'd be surprised how well it helps you open up your throat so you consume the lie of human rights that was sold to you by suits and ties, designer scents on plastic men with patient fangs and ancient vice. You know, the kind of greed that makes a person lose the sight of morals, so it's easier to sleep at night. It's easier to ease their minds and pick a foreign people we could demonize. If you take a sec to sink into how war criminals think, you'll know you'd never want to see inside. If every man's an open book to look within, theirs are bound in human skin and not designed for human eyes. They are wearing human skin, but they can simply not be humanized. They aren't worth the lowest of the poor, they swore to crucify. Holy sweet Geneva, there's a mass grave full of dead believers you called the police on cause you don't believe in squatters' rights. You believe the sanctity of human life is relative to human worth in terms of work and dollar signs. So listen when I say you need to find the light of day before it's too late to apologize. Like holy sweet Geneva, here's a mass grave you can colonize. Because you seem to love to talk about the spirit of America. But if you saw the spirit of this land's supposed character, I think that you'd be calling ICE. And I also think the actual America is truly represented by the call to ICE. Is represented best by the descendants of some immigrants bitching about the immigrants, snitching on some immigrants, then playing dumb and innocent like good little Christians when their neighbors get deported. Until they're screaming at the store that they waited 20 minutes more because the staff was short. Because some ordinary bigot started waging war on immigrants. And honey, we'll just keep deporting because like your first vote and each election since, it turned out that the man you are supporting ended up to just be twice the fucking bigot as the bigot that he wins against. But I was not among the herd. A single word from Biden stirred a tingle in the cynic sense. I knew that a vote for Joe was more like Reagan 2.0. I could smell that sarin smoke that choked around the river bend, and so I spoke about a living end, about an anchor thrown to drowning men, a democratic president, a country never found again. A man who marinated in the blood this land was founded in, a crime bill that contains sufficient lethal ends to drown us in. All written by a man who wears a crown of sins, who currently is sleeping in a bed of sins. And it's no wonder those who truly understand the meaning of democracy are not too keen to let us in. It's no wonder other countries can't conceive of skipping meals or missing rent or being on the streets because you can't afford your medicine. That's uniquely American. And Joe has proved to be the most disturbingly American of presidents. I shiver when I think of what's to come if he's the precedent. It's a wonder I can even function still to process all the rhymes through all the resonance. Bless my heart, I'm liminally reticent, standing on a threshold of bone, ash, and sediment, near a faded marker claiming this to be the grave of all my sentiments, exactly where I left them all and just how I remembered it. It's a wonder I can even function still to process all the rhymes through all the resonance. Bless my heart, I'm liminally reticent, standing on a threshold of bone, ash, and sediment, near a faded marker claiming this to be the grave of all my sentiments, exactly where I left them all, and just how I remembered it.
Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust? Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
Fuck.
Wait, so if you don't trust the CIA or you don't trust like our institutions, then what do you trust?
Oh my god! Every time I hear that outro, I can't not like. I'm glad my mic is muted because I would just be bursting out like the whole freaking time he's doing this.
That's why I put it 4 times in that song. I'm just like, nope, one more. One more.
So
I was like that one.
So fire. But this might be my favorite line of the whole night so far. Joe has proved to be the most disturbingly American of presidents. Like, bro, mwah, chef's kiss. That's so perfect. So fucking perfect. Okay, Sofa King. You are the Sofa King. Seriously, that's unbelievable. That's such fire. Crab is saying fire. Everybody's saying fire. Reef's here. What's up, Reef? We got Yeti in chat. Jenna Colby's here. Ghost Star, hey, how are you? We got
thank you guys.
We got some
Seriously,
people even watching on the Odysseys. What's up, Odyssey? Hey, Odyssey.
Oh.
INN on Odyssey. INN on Rumble. Okay, we're live on rockfin.com.
Thanks, sisters or sister. I don't know if it's one or both. Seriously, you guys hanging out tonight really means a lot. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's
Everybody.
Courtney, but I don't know. You know, Courtney's awesome. Keisha's awesome. We love them both. They're friends of Indie. Love. They're
Monkey.
friends
Thank
of
you for hanging
INN. Love those girls. They're such fire. Glad to see them back doing a live stream, even though everything's terrible and it's tough times. And I saw Courtney having to drive 3 hours. We're not going to talk about why because it's guy time, but I feel for you. We really do, and that's nonsense. You have to do all that stuff. So equality for all and healthcare for all, and this is bullshit. Yep. This is bullshit. Wait, that's their podcast. It's called This Is Bullshit. So by all means.
Oh, we did a little tie-in.
Little tie-in without even trying. See that? All right. Great tunes, Heal. That's right, Court. Absolutely. Heal. Oh, there we go.
It's like one of the sitcoms where all of a sudden it's like, oh, these people from this other sitcom are coming over to hang out. Whoa, what are the crossover?
Right, we got that crossover exactly. It's the Happy Days Facts of Life crossover. That's absolutely
there we go.
right.
Thank you. I was trying to think of a show that did that. I'm coming up short.
Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, Facts of Life, Facts of Life, and the Drummond's, right? Different Strokes. That's kind of appropriate too. Different Strokes. There we go. The world don't move to the beat of just one drumming. So we've got Superstarver is next, right?
Yeah. Okay. Oh man, this song. So
Dynamite. Yeah, Reef.
The end of this song. Well, I guess I'll wait till after this song to tell the story about the end of this song because it'll give it away. Yeah, let's just let it roll. This is Superstar. This is the second to the last track for the album.
Yeah. Okay. And then we're getting Powerless, which I can't wait to hear that. So I've been dying to hear that for 2 weeks. All right, let's go.
Sorry, I'm so gloomy, but the gloom is half the mood. Welcome to the country where they throw out half the food. Like fuck you if you're hungry, we got better things to do. Got a million more priorities than human rights for you.
Just empty stomachs wandering an empty store, with shelves as empty as our creators left on distant shores. They mark the spot where once a country thrived that even tried to help its poor. Now in its place, a fascist state where rape is just a tool of war. I guess they took a page from out the book we used in '64. Villagers we stacked in graves, caked in fucking Agent Orange. Now cut to yesterday, Afghanistan endures the very storm that swept its way through Vietnam, where even now the blood is warm. And even now Fallujah celebrates to see a baby born who's not deformed, not warped by little presents we left hidden in the dirt, courtesy of all your friends at the World Economic Forum. Courtesy of civilized political decorum. unity across the aisle, both sides agreeing via war crime quorum. I'd like to say that when they start the midterm texts, I'll be able to ignore them, but I know myself well enough to know I'm gonna draw them all rhetorically, then verbally I'll quarter them, lyrically I'll carpet bomb and mortar them, purely via metaphor I'll bury them alive, but upside down, with the utmost blasphemy intended out of spite. Now lyrically I'll lead them by the eyes, cause lyrically I'm still beneath the ice, scratching at the surface for a purpose they deny. And every time they smile and they look me in the eyes, suddenly I'm 6 feet under subprime, 6 feet standing firmly in between you and the sunrise. And now your movement's as restricted as the sunrise. Now it's crippled into parody like Occupy. Young hearts be free, young Turks, here to slowly poison hearts and minds. Here to get them speaking press release in record time. Here to get them standing up for AOC and every other Langley plant who sprays a coat of tax the rich across their Semper Fi. Now the skies are nice and clear, the drones are set to fly. They're following the pipeline of how the West was won to how the West declined, to how the West made debt into a genocide, to how the West demolishes a picket line, to how the West contaminates a riverside, to how the West's war crimes are glamorized, to how the West protects the kind of medical neglect that is infanticide at best and is at worst an ethnic cleansing rite. Now it's safe to say it's all fun and games until the feds arrive. Oh shit.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Dude, that's Biggie. That's oh shit. You got a red dot on your head. Oh shit. Pow pow. Oh my god, dude, that's bro. Okay. So you just killed me in so many ways. All right. Go, because I got stuff I want to say too, but go.
I had gone down to visit family in Florida, which is where I got COVID. Because if you want to get COVID, you go to where the best strains are.
Best weed, best COVID, right?
If you want the good stuff, you know. So I got to see my my brother who did the covers for The Virus and Inauguration Gift, and he wanted to hear a couple songs, and I had this finished. So we go out to his car. And we were smoking a bowl and listening to this song. And I hadn't thought about how the ending was going to sound loud in a car. And my brother, bless his heart, he smokes plenty and often, but his tolerance is still like, it doesn't take much. And he's just like gone. And so he's sitting and he's weighing the song. And suddenly the knock, knock, knock happens. And he has fucking heart attack. And I just started losing it. It was so perfect. So then I knew like, okay, that sounds good to go. That song's good.
Yeah. There's again so many like how the decline from how the West was won, how the West declined, how the West made into a genocide. And bro, you're just punching us in the face over and over.
I had to cut myself off on those because I could have done a whole song.
Bro, dude, you should have. Like, that's a poem in itself. It's just how the West, how the West took over the world and then lost it all. You know, like that's kind of like how I kind of saw that part.
Yeah.
And then, again, Supersize, just the arrangement in Supersize. So you played every instrument for that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So there was, and then the drums. Now, do you play drums or do you use like a synthesized
I play drums for that. I have to use GarageBand, so I have to do it all by hand. Which is harder than if I had an actual kit here and could record. I wish I just had a drum kit here that I could record with. But again, especially over the few years of making all these records and just using GarageBand, if anyone ever wants some like advice on trying to record at home simply using it, I'd be happy to give you some pointers because GarageBand is really easy and yeah, it's Honestly,
you can make
I
with
love
it.
my setup, and
Jesus.
I would upgrade my mic, and that's about it. I like GarageBand. I wouldn't want to change anything else in my setup, really. So yeah, shout out to GarageBand because it's worked for me.
Jeebus is
All
what
right,
I can
and
say.
that brings us to
we are up to Powerless.
that brings us to
right?
Powerless, which
we're-
so yeah, again, I recorded this as soon as we got done 2 weeks ago. I logged off with you after we went live. We chatted for a bit, turned it off, turned on GarageBand. First take I did was this one. And it was almost done, and then I was actually going through some old songs, and I found like a live well, not live, of like a full band version of Powerless I had tried to do, and I didn't really like how it turned out, but there was a harmony on it, and I was like, fuck, I forgot I had a harmony on it at one point. I was like, that sounds pretty good. I might do it. So again, in one of my Kanye moments, I'm like, all right, what is it? July 3rd, putting it out tomorrow. Let's do it. So I threw a harmony on, and yeah, there we were. So this is the last track for the music side of the Grift. And again, seriously, it means so much that everyone's been hanging out for all this time. This record obviously means a lot to me. It's the most up-to-date and honest expression of how I feel about just about everything. And really that continues on more so in the spoken word album, which we'll be doing 2 weeks from now.
Can't wait. Dude, this shit was,
So
again,
yeah,
Charlie's saying so deep, and the track hits deep, and the album so far has hit deep. And again, I'm gonna have to give this listen over after listen. The only thing is, we're gonna have to do some kind of a clean version so I can actually play this for my kids. Even though like some of the topics and some of the things are kind of, I don't know what we can do about that, because
that's what, like, with my son, there are only a handful of songs, because even if there's like, I'm not even worried about the bad words as much as it's like, if he hears me that kind of upset, you know,
heavy,
I don't want it to just like traumatize him or stress him out or something. There's plenty of, like I said, little messages and inside things for him for when he's old enough to listen to this music, that he'll know when I'm talking to him. But yeah. So I figured all in due time, you know, he's got enough time to not have to know the full extent of how things are. So let him enjoy things for a while.
Wish that I could offer up my
All
son
right.
a smoother destiny. Yep. Okay, let's do that.
Right.
All right. So Powerless.
All right.
One of my
Yeah,
favorite lines
get
of
down
yours
to some
from all
Powerless.
time, by the way. This guy wrote that, just so everybody knows. Anyway, so let's go. Powerless. I mute my mic for this.
They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. It's 'cause you are. They'll gladly stagnate a living wage, snap the chains, bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle, Joseph or Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had swore he'd close but only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise.
She tells us the facilities are safe and that right down to the women, they are regularly sterilized. Then she throws her head back and she proceeds to laugh, that sort of heartless cackle you'd expect from someone working steadfastly on behalf of the virus and a Congress full of parasites. And where was I? I was busy cashing every blue check, demonstrating plainly all the narratives expected from the verified. I was busy breeding verbal leeches by the terabyte. Train them to exsanguinate the wealthy while they sleep at night. Bleed the oil barons dry and barren. Say they showed us how to share and now we share alike. Tell them I contracted rabies from a feral mic. Now I'm just another species losing sleep to noise pollution and these glaring lights. Forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. But now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near. And all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. And baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. See, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark because you aren't, because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark because you aren't, because we aren't.
And there you have it.
Fade to black. See, now,
At
me,
the end of
I
disc
would,
one.
I would want to hear like.
I'm such
the
a 90s kid. I
chorus.
keep saying disc one, part one, whatever.
I personally would like
The
want to
first-
hear that chorus like one more time. Hear, they'll gladly pay, and like have that because you are taking that out, but I like because you aren't.
Yeah.
Too.
And I almost did, but I really like. I kept coming back to the fact that I don't have a lot of songs that end on like any kind of uplifting or inspiring note quite like that. And I was like, especially the first time I did it like that on a show, that really kind of honed how that song was structured, because I wrote it and started playing it. I think that night I did it on a bitch with Misty, and then I played it on a few other things, and then I kind of fine-tuned it through the process of playing it a bunch, and then I didn't record it for months. So like I said, by then I had I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. And yeah, I love the chorus, especially with the harmony on it. But I've always decided I'd rather err on the side of people wanting to hear it again than being like, oh, the fucking chorus again, here we go. So
yeah.
Worst case scenario, they want to start the song over, I'm not mad at that.
Right? You can't really lose either way. Seriously. Wow, that was awesome. Holy shit. That was
Thank
9
you, man,
songs.
seriously.
I'm really glad I didn't actually give it a listen through. I did hear a couple of those pieces in spoken word, so it's like I got to hear like almost like original uncut raw versions.
Yeah,
because I think you added some lines and you changed some words between what you finished.
I did make some tweaks for sure.
Yeah, I could tell. I could remember that from when we listened before, but dude, wow, awesome. The acoustic version is powerful. And all of the clips and all the tracks from the Nancy Pelosi stream, from I believe the Joe Biden stream, and from the squad stream are all up on INN. There's a Jesse Jett playlist. So if you want to listen to any of those tracks, and of course, again, jessejett.bandcamp.com. Let me put that back up live so that everybody can see that one more time. Let's drop that on. So again, Jesse
Spotify,
Jett.
iTunes, Apple Music,
Get it
etc.
But hook them up on Bandcamp because
And again, it is free on Bandcamp. I got free download things. I got like 2,000 or something download codes I can do. So I don't think we'll be running out anytime soon. So go, if you want it, go get it. It lets you download as many times as you want in all kinds of different formats. If you're a music nerd and you like FLAC files, you can get them there. They can accommodate your weird audio perversions. You pervert you.
Oh man. I don't have weird audio perversions, so I don't know. Edwin is over on the rock.
Oh, that wasn't directed at you. That was just any audio perverts that might be in the chat.
I know. I was just answering for you. But I'm sure there are weird audio files, and they listen on Macintosh, and they want to separate the stuff. And unfortunately, we're playing this through StreamYard and Restream, and not necessarily the greatest audio quality stuff, but we're doing what we can, and it's working out pretty good. I love doing this, man. This is, again, like my favorite time every 2 weeks is doing this show. I just can't.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad it's not like a slog for you, because I love it. I really do.
I literally like look forward to it. It's like this is like a break for me, and to hang out with you again. And I would be listening to this, and to have the privilege of getting to listen to talk to the guy who song by song wrote the stuff, performed it, everything. And nobody gets to do that. I get to do that. So thank you. I love you. You're amazing.
Love you too.
This is a privilege to have all of this set up. Thank you to Reef for setting all of this up so that I have this capability to hit buttons and be able to put this out to YouTube so everybody else can hear it. This is sick. Rumble, Rockfin, everywhere. You guys,
it's amazing. Like, for those of you who don't get to see Indy behind the scenes, he looks like the trademark hacker guy on some cop show where he's got like all the monitors and he's just like spinning and rotating and like he's got it all. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable. The man is a wizard. So thank you so much for making it all flow, scrolling the lyrics, getting the stuff working, moving chat. Like, I can't thank you enough. Seriously.
It's great to see everyone. And again, we're going to do this again in 2 weeks. We'll be doing the listening party for the audio companion, for the home companion, which is just going to be the spoken word pieces. So I'm excited to hear those.
Yep.
And we'll scroll through. We'll do the same thing. And
for sure.
So definitely check in INN. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be live with Yeti Jesus and with Reef Breland for INN News episode 16. Believe it or not, we've already done 16 weeks of INN News.
Wow.
Shout out, by the way,
that's awesome.
Colin is traveling, and shout out to him and to his family for health stuff, for Noli out there who's going through some health stuff, to speedy recovery to everybody, to Bess and everybody else out there. We love you so much, and we need everybody back and 100% and healthy as soon as possible, really. INN needs you and misses you, and you're part of the family, and we love you all. So everybody, have yourselves a great night. We'll be back tomorrow night, INN News. That's 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thursday night, we're going to have Tommy Nation running at 10 p.m. Eastern. Friday night, I think Reef's going to do a show at 10 p.m. Eastern as well. So again, that's Indy and Jesse signing off for tonight, saying have a great night, everyone. And labels are bad. Stay independent. This is INN, so I can say that.